You ready?
I guess.
Okay. Hello, Jasmine.
Hello, Ugo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Watcheando movie, where I show my cousin movies, and we're Mexican.
Wow, that's great.
So just a little bit of background information. Jasmine, you used to like movies back in like 2010, right?
Yeah?
And now you don't.
Yeah.
And I've been a film buff since I was 13, so about 7, 8 years. I'm just trying to reignite Jasmine's love for film by showing her movies. We were doing a director series. We covered 3 of David Fincher's films that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And Mank is coming out. Came out today. We haven't watched it
December 4th.
yet. December 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I decided, you might need some background information on that movie. That movie is about
Citizen Kane.
It isn't enough to tell us what a man did. You've got to tell us who he was.
If I hadn't been very rich, I might have been a really great man. I'm Charles Foster Kane!
spoilers, of course. So this movie is directed by Orson Welles. Do you know who that is?
He's the protagonist.
Yeah, he's the main actor guy.
Yeah.
Did you ever heard of him before?
No.
That name isn't even familiar.
Not really.
This is written by Orson Welles and Herman J. Mankiewicz. Get it?
Sure.
Yeah. It stars Orson Welles, Joseph Cotton, and Dorothy Comingore. And then Wikipedia had a bunch of other names, and I'm like, I don't want to go through all of them because I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It premiered on May 1st, 1941 at a Palace Theater, which is like a Broadway sort of thing. I don't know how they used to do premieres back then, right? And it released on September 5th, 1941.
Okay.
It was made on a budget of $839,727. And overall, like throughout its lifetimes with re-releases and stuff,
Yeah.
it's made $1 million.
Okay.
It wasn't a big hit commercially at the time. I think it made like $20,000 overall or something when they first came out.
Okay.
Yeah. At the 14th Academy Awards, it was nominated for Outstanding Motion Picture. It's a great
wow.
name. They should bring that back.
Yeah.
Director and actor for Orson Welles. Original screenplay. Art direction, film editing, scoring, and sound recording.
Okay.
Okay, now I want you to tell me. What do you think? You think
I didn't win anything.
What do you think this won?
Nothing.
Nothing? It won for original screenplay.
Okay.
But yeah, it did not win Best Picture. It lost to a movie called How Green Was My Valley. It's like one of the biggest, like, whoa, why,
Yeah.
It's like when they give, the King's Speech instead of the Social Network.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the BFI is?
No.
The British Film Institute?
Sure. Now I know.
Yeah, so every 10 years, they choose the best pictures, the best movies of all time. And consistently since 1962, Citizen Kane has been number one.
Really?
Yeah. Except for 2012.
So every time there's new movies released,
Citizen
they
Kane.
compile all the movies.
Yeah.
And then they're
Citizen Kane is number one.
Interesting.
Except for 2012.
It didn't make it number one, or was it on the list?
It was number two.
Uh-huh.
And number one was Vertigo
I've never...
by Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh.
Yeah. You never heard of it?
Maybe.
And the AFI.
2012?
2012, yeah. So the next one's going to be in 2022. So
Wait,
we'll
but Vertigo was...
60s, 50s.
Well, why did it change?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah. I was like, what?
It's like they all vote on it.
Oh.
Yeah. And the AFI has it at number one on their top 100 greatest movies.
AFI?
American Film Institute.
Top 100?
Yeah,
It's number one?
number one. Do you know what number two is?
My butt.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's The Godfather. Number two is The Godfather.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You haven't seen that either, huh?
No.
It has, unsurprisingly, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 90% audience score. And the consensus says Orson Welles' epic tale of a publishing tycoon's rise and fall is entertaining, poignant, and inventive. Inventive in its storytelling, earning its reputation as a landmark achievement in film. Yes. So, Jasmine, you had never seen this movie before.
Never.
I have. I saw it for the first time when I was 18
Wow.
because I broke my foot, and I'm like, you know what? Time to watch some classic films.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really pay attention to any of the films
Yeah.
because I was in pain.
Nice.
Yeah. So, what were you expecting of this?
Well, greatness, I suppose.
Yeah, it's the greatest film of all time.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Is that what you were expecting, to watch the greatest movie of all time?
I mean, I'm not sure what that would entail, but I was expecting to be like, oh wow, you know.
Oh wow, this is cinema.
This is it, huh?
This is the best there is.
Yeah.
So greatest movie of all time. What did you think about it? What were your gut reactions?
You know, that is it like the first or second episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh yeah, go on. Yeah.
And then it's when Boyle is so infatuated with Rosa. And
Yeah, Gina tells him that she likes movies.
Yeah.
So then he goes and it's like, there's a classic movie, a festival or something. Yeah.
And then let's go watch Citizen Kane. And she's like, ew, gross. I don't know exactly what she says. Like, but find me something better than Citizen Kane.
And he goes, okay, all right. I'll find something better than Citizen Kane.
Yeah. So by that, I'm saying I can't say I was impressed.
You're not impressed?
I mean, it's just a movie. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what makes it so great.
It's just like a movie to you? Like
Yeah,
a normal movie?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I was gonna say like maybe better than a normal movie, but I don't know about that.
What would be a normal movie to you?
You know, okay, so it's not like a cheesy blockbuster movie or something that people just like toss around like, oh yes, where can we release this movie? I mean, it looks like it was done in a serious manner, so I guess it's decent. I feel so.
You're so weird.
I'm not. I don't know. Maybe it's just my ignorance that's making me say that it's decent, but as of right now, it's just meh.
So you didn't hate it, you didn't like it.
I mean, I was falling asleep through. What was it? Like maybe not even halfway through the movie.
Yeah, I think like maybe 20 minutes in. I think.
Yeah.
You're starting to drift off, and I would wake you up.
Yeah.
And then finally you fell asleep, like for real, and I just.
I missed. I don't know how much I missed.
You know what I think it is that it was more that you were just covered up in blankets, and I'm like, you're heated up, you're just gonna fall asleep. So that's what happens when you heat up.
Sure.
And I'm just like, but you wouldn't listen.
I mean, maybe if it was a compelling.
Maybe if this movie was good, then I wouldn't have fallen asleep.
I mean.
Yeah.
I think, what was the other movie we saw? So it's like a character
Gone Girl?
driven. No, Gone Girl was good. It's a character driven story, right? And I'm like, why do I care about this guy? I don't.
You don't? You don't even find the story fascinating?
Nah.
Nah.
No.
It's because you've seen it before, right?
Probably.
Yeah, because the guy's president.
Because he's Scrooge?
Because he's president.
Donald Trump?
Yeah, Donald Trump.
That's his life story?
Basically.
Failure?
Except he didn't lose an election. Well, he
That's
lost
true.
one election, but not, the other one.
A Donald Trump biopic would be good to watch. Because that guy's crazy. A lot of good stuff, I'm sure.
It'd be pretty similar to this. Oh, you know what?
Because his dad didn't love
I forgot one of the things I was going to say Donald Trump cites this as his favorite movie.
Oh wow! Is it because his dad didn't love him?
Yeah, probably. But you know what? I don't think he's actually seen this.
I
You know, because you know what? What does he say his favorite book is?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
No, he says it's the Bible.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like saying, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
Citizen Kane. Yeah, it's my favorite movie.
Is it anybody's favorite movie?
Yeah, you know who William Friedkin. You know.
Of
He
course
directed
not.
a guy who directed The Exorcist.
Sure.
He cites it as his favorite movie.
Oh, interesting.
He says that he saw it as a child in theaters because he's an old man.
Oh wow.
He's all like, wow. He's like super blown away.
And then he
Yeah.
went to make The
And
Exorcist.
he went to go make movies. Yeah. What were we talking about before we got into the Trump stuff?
I was talking about how this is very much a character-driven story, and I just did not care for
And care for any of
Charles Foster Kane.
Did you care about any of that Rosebud stuff?
No.
No? Not even its reveal?
I mean, is that left for speculation for the audience?
No.
Or is it...
Pretty obvious.
What is it?
What do you mean, what is it?
I mean,
Do you not remember?
I mean, I guess I said it, right? It's the
Yeah.
sleigh.
It's a sleigh, yeah. And what is it?
It's just his life would have been different if
Yeah.
he would have stayed home.
Yeah. That's it.
Man, that's like you die full of regrets. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's what this movie is about. It's like life and regrets and getting old.
Yeah, well, I prefer
Happy
thinking
stuff.
of ending things for that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, in this one he gets laid.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
He
why
doesn't
the other
die a
one's
virgin.
so much depressing. That's
Spoilers for
regret.
I'm thinking of ending things.
At least with the other one, the character was just this kind of loser.
You mean I'm thinking of anything? And this
Yeah.
guy, well, he's supposed to be.
He has potential, and then
Oh, yeah, he
I
is.
don't know what how it
It
happens.
just does. And this is like some guy who was given everything. Right?
Yeah.
But then he's empty inside. Just-
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
No.
Man, I was gonna say something.
That's just
Oh, you know who else doesn't like that Rosebud stuff?
my butt.
Orson Welles.
What?
Orson Welles.
Doesn't like the Rosebud stuff?
Yeah.
Didn't
all
he
like,
write that?
Yes. I don't know if he wrote it. I think it was the other guy. But
What doesn't he like about it?
he's all like, it's Freudian bullshit. You know, it's like, who gives a fuck?
Mm.
Yeah, Orson Welles is a great guy, man. He's hilarious.
Is he still alive?
No,
Oh,
he was hilarious, I should say.
yeah.
He did this beer commercial once,
Wow.
like towards the end of his life, and then like there's bloopers about it.
Mhm.
He's just like, he's getting, you know, he was actually drinking it.
Oh, wow.
And he's like getting drunker and drunker. He's like, I don't give a fuck, man. Just give me my fucking money.
Oh, man.
Anyways, yeah. Oh, Orson Welles. What do you think about him?
You know, he did the thing.
How old do you think he was during this?
So I read it.
Oh, Jasmine.
But at the time,
Jasmine.
I guess, what, 30, 35? I
You,
think
you
I
said like 30,
Yeah.
35. And I was like, no, Jasmine, he was 25 years old.
Yeah, Hugo, you're a loser.
I'm a loser. I mean, that's 4 more years.
Yeah, they're basically
That was three
Yeah.
minus for you.
He was
Jasmine.
already probably acting before then.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what his background was?
Acting.
So he was a theater sort of person,
Oh.
but he also did a lot of radio programs.
Okay.
Do you know that? Do you know that people used to listen to the radio for like shows and stuff?
I can imagine, I suppose.
That's crazy.
I mean, people listen to podcasts
Yeah.
now, so it's not that far-fetched.
Well, that's different.
People listen to people, what's it called, playing D&D.
Oh
so
man.
it's-
He did a lot of radio dramas.
Yeah.
Do you know that one thing? What?
With Tom Cruise?
Yeah. What's it called?
War of the Worlds. Or
Yes.
World of the World. Yeah,
So famously, Orson Welles did that on radio first,
mm-hmm.
and he actually, he made it sound like an actual like news broadcast.
Okay.
And it tricked people, and there was towns going like, "Oh my God, there's aliens coming!" and then they would run out and stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah,
We should
what a
do
great
that.
time. You can't do that anymore.
You can.
You can't trick people. No,
You
can't.
can.
No,
Yeah.
there's too much internet.
No.
People are like,
Exactly.
people
That's why you can.
nah, because people are like, nah, that's fake.
People think Corona is fake, so
Oh my God,
I'm sure they would believe aliens are real.
it's not as fun though.
Yeah, but they would just stay home. They would actually
They would actually stay home.
stay home.
Did you have a favorite scene?
I like the scene where it cuts suddenly to that bird. I was like,
Oh yeah, I don't even know what that's
I don't
supposed to mean. It's just like
that's
it cuts to a bird
hilarious.
and it's like translucent,
Yeah.
and it goes yeah. It's like really shocking. I'm like, what the fuck was that
I don't
about?
even remember what happened before that scene or
The
after.
butler was telling the story
Oh, was it?
about
Yeah.
Rosebud, and then it's like, what?
And then yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
That
I
was
don't know
good.
what that means.
That was a good transition.
That's over my head.
I don't
yeah.
know why. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it got me by surprise too.
Yeah.
I mean, that edit.
It's
It's
interesting.
fucking wild.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Is it just
Is it life? Life comes at you fast,
I
man.
don't know.
I don't know.
It was so off tone too.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was like not even paying. Like I was paying attention, but then it like woke me up a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Yeah. I had a favorite scene. You know that one scene where he's married and he's having breakfast, and then that goes through like years.
Oh sure.
Yeah, man, that's such a great way, like such a great way to depict a marriage over time, decaying,
Yeah.
and it's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, did you think this movie was entertaining? Like, did you find entertainment value in this?
Minimally.
A little bit.
It was okay. I think they try to grip you initially with the whole rosebud thing, but I was like, I don't care.
You know, yeah.
Maybe with the affair stuff, I think the opera stuff was kind of interesting, right?
Mm.
Because that was
Yeah.
because you could see how.
It's a lot darker in tone.
Yeah. That was a little bit more entertaining. The rest was kind of like,
Yeah.
I think a good portion of the beginning was kind of for me. Just because, I don't know if he's supposed to be this guy who wants to portray himself as being good. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like a people pleaser complex.
Yeah,
kind of.
he's like, well, he calls himself like the champion of like the working man
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
And I feel like it was kind of like he was just saying good things to sound good,
Yeah, that's
So then I was like, yeah, I don't like this guy.
immediately, like not even like his charming like younger
When
self.
he was a little boy,
And he was not little boy, but like when he was like younger, like 25.
and
Yeah,
he
when he
bought
started the newspaper. Yeah, you didn't think that
No,
stuff
he was
was
kind
like.
of pompous. So
You're like, nah, this douchebag.
yeah,
Really, I think he's supposed to come off as charming.
maybe
Maybe at the time.
at the time, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's supposed to be like really comedic, that newspaper sequence.
How so?
Well, you know how like they come in and then the sort of
Oh.
editor in chief is like really confused and they keep like talking to him and they're mentioning a bunch of different names and stuff. You were asleep by then, I think.
Was I asleep? I just remember the scene where they were talking about the Chronicle and they're like,
Oh yeah, that's like
Something.
towards the end of the
Oh, was
sequence.
it? Oh yeah, I was falling asleep then. There was like a few instances where like I think I like blinked and I just never opened my eyes.
That's how you died, isn't
Yeah, that's how it would be nice to die.
it? Yeah.
Ideally, you just close your eyes and then that's it.
The newsreel part.
The newsreel part,
Yeah, do you remember that?
I was kind of thrown off by that
Yeah,
sequence because I was
pretty
like,
well.
what the hell's happening?
Especially because like before that, you see his death.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think I even rationalized what I was watching.
It is, and the first time I watched it, I'm
'Cause
like,
you-
wait, what's going on?
Because you asked me, because I was like, what was his last word when the other guys
Yeah,
were talking
yeah.
about, and you told me Rosebud, and I was like, oh, that's what that was supposed to be. I
Yeah,
didn't.
That first sequence was.
Yeah,
death,
I wasn't sure what that was supposed to mean.
It's like that first sequence is shot like really, I don't know, like experimental, but because like it cuts into a lot of different places at once,
Yeah.
and you're kind of confused.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a lot more sense when you watch it like a second time. It's like, oh, okay, I know what's gonna happen now. It's like, yeah, not to say that this is like a overall really confusing movie, but I think the way the narrative unfolds, it's kind of like disorienting,
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
Because then we do the newsreel, and then we're in this newspaper room, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all the shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think about the lighting in this movie, Jordan?
So it was black and white, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So it was dark.
Is that your observation?
You know.
It is dark. Not all black and white movies
Was
are
it
that dark.
intentionally dark, or is that just the
It's
nature
like harsh
of...
shadows. No, don't you remember Francis Ha?
Oh, but that's a modern movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of films are shot, in that sort of bright colored way. You know.
I mean, it was very dark for a lot of part of the movie, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of harsh shadows. Do you know what film noir is?
Have you heard of Cat Noir?
What?
I don't know. There's this cartoon with a ladybug and Cat Noir. I don't know if you have.
But is it like crime stuff?
Kind of, yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what film noir is.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
But it's like harsh shadows and, you know.
I remember it like cut to like, I thought it was like a movie theater projector room or
It
something.
is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, was it?
That's
Okay.
That's how people watch the news a lot. Is they go to the movie theater.
Oh,
Don't you remember Captain America?
no, I don't
They did it
think.
in Captain America.
I don't think I've ever seen Captain America.
Yeah, you have.
Did I?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
the first Captain America. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys made me watch a bunch of Avenger movies.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
I don't remember it at all. At first I thought like, oh, they're gonna report on this Citizen Kane guy. I don't know. He's a citizen. He
he's a
must be
citizen.
a good guy.
He must be.
I don't know. Why is it called Citizen Kane? He's just
He's
a
a man. It's just a man.
man Kane.
Citizen.
I guess
Man
that
Kane.
does-
Just call it
that
Man Kane.
That doesn't have the
That's what they
same-
should have called it. Human Kane.
Yeah. What was your question though?
I was talking about the lighting.
Oh, it was very dark for a lot
Yeah,
of it,
like,
and then
He stands in front of the projector. A guy stands in front, and it's like he's covered in shadow. But,
yeah,
it's like a silhouette almost. And you just think that was beautiful, Jasmine?
beautiful.
Yeah.
No.
No? You don't think any of the lighting was beautiful? Why do you think they were all covered in shadows? You know that one main guy.
Because it's
That
spooky.
that one main guy that's out there talking about Rosebud, searching it.
Sure.
we
I don't
never
even
really-
remember what he looks like.
Yeah, exactly. We
Oh.
never see his face.
Okay.
Yeah, we never really see his face. Why do you think that is?
Because he don't matter.
He don't matter.
He's
It's
a narrator.
He's a narrative device.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because,
He's like Nick Carraway, kind of.
who?
From The Great Gatsby?
Oh, I've never read that.
Oh, wow.
That's Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember you mentioned the sets.
Oh, yeah. They looked very staged.
It's very staged.
Yeah, like not lived in, kind of.
I mean, very theatrical.
Yeah.
What made them theatrical?
I just feel like they were usually shot, unless it was like an actual building, it just seemed like they were shot in a way, how you watch like sitcoms, or like you don't get a view of the whole room. It's just always like a portion of the room. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. It felt like that? It felt like
It
there was
kind
like
of-
an open...
Yeah,
sort
it
of-
felt like it was just so that the audience can see, and then
Jesus.
anything. Sorry. So it's just what the audience can see, but
Yeah.
like if the actors were looking forward, it would just be nothing.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
that's how they shot all movies back then,
Well, then I guess it's okay.
But they did have like giant sort of like...
It seemed like it was a lot. The sets were really tall.
Yeah, like there's a lot of headroom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you
So-
think so?
I mean, he lived in a palace, so I suppose.
Oh, yeah. But like even when the guy went to go read the manuscript,
Oh, yeah, right.
it's
When
like
he went to that
super
library.
tall. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Is it a
know.
library?
I'm just assuming she looked like a librarian, so
Yeah.
just like there's a book. Yeah, librarian.
Yeah. Let's talk about that narrative. What do you think
Mm-hmm.
about the way that this narrative was constructed?
With like it being, so it had like kind of like two storylines, but not really, right? It was told in like reflective sequences based on the anecdotes of people who knew him, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Dracula. Just kidding, Dracula's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's
I've
kind
never
of,
read
but
Dracula.
it's kind of like, so Dracula's told like journal entries, newspaper clippings, letters sent through other people, and it's like they're all intertwined because it's all interactions with Dracula, basically. And that's kind of the feel this one had,
right.
where it was like, obviously it was like that, the diary from that, was it Thatcher? I don't remember the guy.
Sure.
I don't remember.
The banker
The
guy,
banker
right?
guy, yeah. Because obviously he had already passed away.
Uh-huh.
And then they tried to do his second wife, but they couldn't, so they went to his friend. Was it just those three?
They went to, yeah. Oh, no. Because it was Mr. Bernstein, right?
Oh, yes,
And
yes,
then
yes.
Mr. Bernstein sent him to Mr. Lee, whatever.
Leland? or something?
Leland, yeah. And then after Leland, he went back to the second wife.
And then the butler was the last one.
And then
right?
the butler was the last one,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, it is really interesting. It's not like, I guess the story of Kane isn't told straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really like,
How others perceived him.
yeah, and it's like a jigsaw pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also get to see like the same scenes, but
Yeah.
from a different perspective.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's true.
Yeah.
I guess so. And then it was also kind of like done in like a chronological rate too. Right? Because obviously the banker kind of did early in his life. Right?
He did early in his life, but then he also did like towards the end
Yeah.
when he lost all his money.
Yeah.
And then that's when he's like, he sort of like states the sort of theme of the whole movie where he's like, if only I wasn't rich,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be everything you hate,
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever read Save the Cat?
Like the actual book?
Yeah.
No, I've
Yeah.
read. Not read. I've seen people
Talk about it.
break down. Yeah, Save the Cat.
So one of the like first things you do in the first 10, 15 pages or whatever is state the theme.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Boom. This invented structure. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a YouTuber, a very famous film YouTuber,
Mm-hmm.
who was all like, the third act, the 3 act structure didn't exist until Citizen Kane. That whole stuff of like a climax and stuff.
Is that BS?
That is so wrong. I mean, Jasmine. Jasmine.
I don't know.
Disney films existed before.
Oh, yeah.
That. Yeah. You know what else had existed?
Stories, books.
Books, theater, plays.
Jane
It's like how bad can you? That's like, man, how do you have this fucking job?
Yeah. I have read that Citizen Kane.
It popularized a lot of sort of filmmaking techniques.
Yes, I've heard that it maybe in that regard it kind of did help kind of foster different storytelling devices.
Yeah, and I think it actually had more to do with the visuals.
Okay.
Because do you know what the French New Wave is? Is a film history lesson for you.
French New Wave?
Yeah.
What it is?
Yeah.
In regards to like movies?
Cinema.
Yeah.
Is there a
It's
French New
French
Wave for
toast.
like literature or something?
No. I don't know. I was just wondering if it applied to. French New Wave is movies that are
Good.
artsy. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess some people would say that. It was a lot of young people, like people in their 20s making movies. And they were like, you know what? This old way of making movies sucks ass. Let's break all the rules, because like they would... they would show, like if someone was walking inside a building, they would show the person like getting out of the car and walking into the building, going to the elevator, pressing the elevator button, going up the elevator, going out, going into the office, and then finally the scene starts, right?
Sure.
And then the French New Wave was like, okay, what if we just cut to when they're meeting? Yeah?
Nice.
And that's what Citizen Kane did a lot. Was they just sort of cut a lot to the sort of action.
Okay.
There's a lot of fancy editing. You notice some of it, right?
I think so. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that bird, right?
Does that? Yeah. What the fuck does that mean? Who knows? It's different.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
cool edits. Like when I think they're reading the newspaper guy was reading the article, and that kind of transitioned to the snowy scene in his childhood. That was a good.
Oh, and the way that like when he gets to the bankers, and then like they open the present, and then it's Christmas.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was a neat little thing. A lot of this stuff sort of came because Orson Welles had no idea what you couldn't do in film. So like he didn't really know anything about film. He was just offered a movie
Oh wow.
just because of his radio dramas. And he's
Oh,
like, well,
nice.
I don't know anything about movies. Like he had a sort of a producer give him a booklet that talked about like shots and stuff and what he can do. But he didn't really know. So he
What
just
he
like
couldn't do?
what he couldn't do. He's like, why don't we just
Like
do it like this?
traditionally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, let's just do this. Just because I feel like this is right.
Yeah.
So that's where like a lot of the whoa, that's sort of like the mind blowing, like why it's so important. It's because it just, did a lot of that stuff first. So like you don't see it, you see it as just another movie, like full of like old stuff. But that's because this was the first one, and then other movies started. It influenced a lot of movies, so that's why you've already seen a lot of it. It did everything sort of. It was all new,
All at once.
all at once, man.
And it lost.
And it lost Best Picture. That just means, what does that mean?
The Academy stinks.
Academy stinks. Yeah, it's not that. Like Green Book. Come on,
Yeah.
Like, does anyone even talk about Crash anymore?
No.
Who talks about the King's Speech?
Who talks about Shakespeare in Love?
That's right. Who talks about Shakespeare in Love? Who talks about Out of Africa?
Who talks about Saving Private Ryan?
Without Lost.
I know. But people talk about that more than Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah.
Because it lost, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what else was nominated in when King's Speech won? Inception.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and people love Inception.
Yeah.
That was way more of a cultural
a
landmark.
dream, I don't know why. Why are people so obsessed with it? I don't even know.
It's pretty good. That trailer dropped, and a lot of people are, that. Do you know the trailer?
Is it when the Earth?
Boom,
Oh,
boom.
that gave me anxiety. No wonder.
And then every single trailer started going boom, and trailers are still going boom. 10 years later.
I remember.
Yeah.
So was it just like a quinky dink that it did good things? Because obviously,
I think so. It's probably
yeah.
Whatever, man. Just what do you mean we can't do that? Just do it, okay? Just find a way.
Was he just like I'm setting out to make a good movie?
That was it. Yeah, he's like.
Or I'm
just a good
setting
movie.
out to make a great movie.
I think he was just trying to do the best he could with the
Wow.
story, right?
It's nice.
Yeah, and that was his first movie, and apparently he never made a good movie.
I mean, when you make the greatest movie of all time, it's really hard to measure up.
And a lot of people do like his other movies, but they don't have the same sort of,
appeal.
He actually had this one movie, Tangent, where it has 3 parts to it, right? It has him being a magician, and it has an actual movie, and then it has a behind the scenes of that movie, all trapped in the same movie,
Wow, he's
it's
a wild
fucking
guy.
weird. He's a wild guy. He was friends with Ernest Hemingway.
Oh man, that guy was crazy.
The guy was crazy too, and they were both alcoholics.
Yeah. Misery loves company.
Yeah. What do you think about the acting in this? It's old. This is the first movie from the 40s that we watched. Didn't you say it sounded?
It just sounded weird, but I just assume that's how we were talking in the olden times.
No.
I don't know how to.
Hey, buddy, it's
Exactly. Is there comic-y kind of?
Yeah.
Very I don't want to say the dialogue sounded unnatural, but it sounded. I guess
it sounded scripted.
I was gonna say that. It sounded scripted. It wasn't
It wasn't trying to be
people
naturalistic,
don't talk like this. I guess they can, but that's what you talk like when you rehearse it in your brain.
Oh yeah.
If I could say it, I would have said this.
Yeah. I would have told them this and that, and
yeah.
And yeah, most because now we have a lot of and a lot of modern films since I'd say since the 70s. We have a lot more of that sort of be more naturalistic. But
yeah, sounds good.
You don't think it was this is a lot of the actors' first film performance? Did it feel more like theater to you?
So theater, I have very little experience with theater.
Have you ever seen a play?
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
But again, theater's very scripted too, right?
Oh yeah, and you have to perform for the back row. So,
yeah.
Yeah. You're doing big emotions and stuff.
Oh wow. I don't know if this one was that way, but I wouldn't. I guess given the the history, it would make sense.
This is a lot more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who was the Agnes girl? I don't know.
The mom.
Yeah, the mom. That is so eerie. Her performance is so creepy.
That's how Agnes's be.
Yeah. And I'm wow, that's a theater person. Like she's so still, and that's how you act in film cameras now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. Anyways, did you notice any of the music?
You know me. I noticed it probably like the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then it's gone.
And it's gone.
I mean, it had like. I mainly noticed like the somber turns the score would take. I don't know.
Anything else?
I don't think I didn't notice anything else.
Right. The cinematography we talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Oh, the makeup and stuff.
Oh yeah, the makeup
good.
is great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think most of the makeup was spent on Orson Welles, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But man, that looks fantastic, even by today's standards.
Yeah,
it
looks really realistic.
Yeah.
Obviously, they could get away with it because it was in black and white.
In black and white, and like the quality, it's grainy. But man, that's wild.
Yeah.
He spent like 6 hours in makeup every morning.
I mean, he looks old. So
yeah, he's 25.
He looks like he gained like 50 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And then
Did you ever feel bad for Orson Welles?
No. Or Orson Welles or
the Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane.
Charles Kane. Charles Foster Kane. No.
Not even when his second wife is leaving him.
No.
And then he's like, please.
Especially
please,
not when his second wife was leaving him.
I know?
No. Because he was being super manipulative and toxic.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
He didn't really love her.
No, he didn't marry her because he loved her. He married her to save face.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And but that was the last person he had.
That's his fault.
Those scenes where he's like alone with her in that castle.
He drove him away.
Oh, yeah.
This is different, like between like, and I think maybe why I made that comparison with I'm thinking of ending things because like I can't relate to, Charles Foster Kane.
Because he's rich and stuff.
Not just that, but because
he's a psychopath.
I mean, honestly, yeah. But he doesn't push people away. He drives people away, right? With his actions.
Yeah.
Versus I don't remember the protagonist from I'm thinking of ending things. He never puts himself out there so that people don't push him away kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's more relatable to me, right? Because I do that, right? Instead of getting close to people, I keep them at arm's length. So this guy was just a douche, right? A narcissist.
Yeah.
So.
But that's because of the money,
Yeah, and maybe he would have had a much simpler life if he would have grown in Colorado.
But those scenes where they're in a palace and then it's like the huge sets, right? Like huge, and that house is supposed to look huge.
Yeah.
And then they're so far away from each other.
Yeah.
And they have to scream.
Yeah.
Each other to hear each other. Man, that is so great.
Yeah.
That's wow. They're distant physically.
Wow.
And emotionally.
My God.
And she's doing jigsaw puzzles.
Because she's jigsaw.
Yeah. It's because the whole story is like a jigsaw puzzle, I'd say. Probably.
Oh, is that why?
Maybe.
Or is it just because she likes to do them?
Who knows? Maybe Orson Welles.
Why would he collect statues?
Orson Welles are probably just like, you know what? We have to have her do like something with her hands. Just a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. Then he just bought statues because they're fancy or what?
Probably. I
don't
know. What were the deals with the statues anyway? I never really thought about them.
I guess they're worth a lot of money. I don't know.
Oh. Because they look like people, right?
Oh, sure.
But they're not.
Wow.
They're empty.
Wow.
And he's surrounded
Beautiful.
by empty stuff. Yeah. Overall, what do you think about this?
You should watch it just so you
just so you can say you watched it. What would you say negatives are?
It was boring.
You're gonna be one of those people, huh, Jen?
What?
Simpleton.
Yeah. It's my middle name.
So thumbs up or thumbs down? Jen?
It is. This is a hard one actually. Like you should watch it, but you might like it, you might not.
But personally,
thumbs. This is not a good one to give a thumbs down or a thumbs up. You know what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was more into film, I might be inclined to give this a thumbs up.
That's what this whole
But,
series is about.
like, I guess I can appreciate what it did for film, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
So thumbs down.
I feel like a thumbs down is harsh.
All right, let's just say it's a thumbs down.
Like, is it bad? No.
That's your praise. They should put that on the poster
Yes.
and be like, "Is it bad?" No.
So yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like this movie.
Like,
Yeah, like it's entertaining.
You would take it to meet your parents,
What?
Know.
What do you mean? I take it to meet my parents?
Like you like it enough to
to marry it?
Yeah, basically.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Just answer the damn question.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, you like it that much?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I would maybe take it on a second pity date or something, but I wouldn't.
What the fuck are you talking about? Anyways,
So what I'm saying is, I liked it enough to watch it just to say I watched it.
you'd fuck it, but you wouldn't put a
I
ring
wouldn't
on
even
it.
fuck it.
No, my god. Anyways, that's our discussion on Citizen Kane. That's a discussion on Citizen Kane.
Yeah, it's a good movie. You should watch it.
Thanks for listening.